The 1986 Suzuki Long Chassis was a legendary compact 4X for utility vehicle, built on the backbone of the Suzuki SJ series, particularly the SJ410 and SJ413. This model earned a cult following in many countries, especially in South Asia, Africa, and parts of South America, where it became a household name due to its sheer dependability, low cost, and mechanical simplicity. What made the Long Chassis version different was its extended wheelbase, which allowed more room in the cabin and provided greater utility, whether for transporting passengers in remote areas or carrying light commercial loads. It maintained a rugged, boxy design with minimal curves and styling flourishes. The front end featured a flat metal hood, round halogen headlights, and a plain steel front grille. Ground clearance was high, allowing it to tackle rural terrains, steep hills, and broken roads with ease. The steel bumpers, simple side mirrors, and lightweight doors reflected its utilitarian nature. This was a vehicle built for work, not for luxury or show. Mechanically, it came with either a 970cc or 1324cc four-cylinder petrol engine, depending on the market and variant, and was mated to either a 4-speed or 5-speed manual transmission. It was a carbureted engine, easy to maintain and repair even in the most basic village workshops. The engine was not powerful by modern standards, but it was sufficient to move the vehicle over tough terrain or steep inclines, especially when paired with its low-range transfer case. The 4X4 system was part-time and manual, meaning the driver had to physically engage the front hubs and shift the transfer lever inside to switch from 2WD to 4WD high or low, depending on the terrain. This simplicity was not only a cost-saving measure, but also added to the vehicle's reliability. There were fewer electronic systems to fail, with a top speed of around 110 km/h. It was not built for highways, but for village roads, mountain paths, forest tracks, and desert trails. The interior of the 1986 Long Chassis Suzuki was extremely basic. The dashboard was made of hard plastic with analog dials for speed, fuel, and engine temperature. There was no air conditioning, no power steering, and no electronic components. Some versions didn't even come with a stereo system from the factory. Seating was vinyl covered and manually adjustable, often with benches in the back or parallel 5 seating in locally customized versions to fit up to 8 C10 passengers. The rear portion of the Long Chassis could be enclosed with a hardtop canvas cover, or left open depending on use. The floor was made of metal and could be washed out easily, perfect for agricultural or industrial use. The suspension system used leaf springs both in the front and rear, which made the ride bumpy, but offered strength and load-bearing capacity. This made it ideal for transporting goods in rural areas, even if it came at the expense of comfort. One of the key selling points of the Suzuki Long Chassis was its legendary fuel economy and ease of maintenance. It consumed around 10 to 12 kml on average, depending on the load and terrain, and parts were cheap and widely available. The vehicle could be push-started with ease, and even major engine repairs could be done without the need for high-end tools. Mechanics in remote villages were familiar with it, and even roadside workshops could get it running. Over time, these vehicles developed a reputation for going into the most difficult terrains and coming back intact. This made them the vehicle of choice for government field departments, forest officers, police patrols in rugged areas, and even for ambulances in hard-to-reach areas. In Pakistan and similar markets, many were locally modified into school vans, passenger carriers, mobile shops, and even military-style transporters. In 1986, the price of a brand new Suzuki Long Chassis in Pakistan was between Pkr 95,000 and Pkr 120,000, depending on the variant and configuration. At the time, this was considered a significant investment, but one that made complete sense for people looking for a reliable, Go anywhere vehicle, farmers, rural doctors, NGO workers, and even large landowners bought them for both work and daily use. Compared to larger international SUVs, it was far more affordable and cheaper to run. Because of its excellent resale value and long-lasting body and mechanical parts, it remained in service for decades, with many units still seen on roads today. Often refurbished or converted into off-road hobby vehicles, its role in developing and connecting remote communities cannot be overstated. Today, the 1986 Suzuki Long Chassis is considered a classic among 4X for enthusiasts and collectors. It represents an era of honest, no-frills motoring where mechanical simplicity was valued above digital sophistication, while modern SUVs come packed with electronics and soft suspensions. The Long Chassis Suzuki remains an icon of toughness, raw mechanical ability, and unmatched utility. Whether climbing rocky hills, navigating muddy fields, or carrying passengers across rugged landscapes, this vehicle proved its worth repeatedly. Many people who owned or drove one still remember it fondly as one of the most reliable vehicles ever built for rural and hard-duty use. It may not have had the glamour of a Land Cruiser or the luxury of a Pajero, but in many ways, it stood right alongside them in performance, if not ahead in reliability, simplicity, and heart.